everyone, I wanted to show you a fun kind of personal way to make your Schoology page look a little bit more modern, make it look a little bit more like a website, more visual for your learners, etc. So here we have a very simple design that I made for the remote learning course, but there are 4 clickable buttons. If you were using students, I would maybe make these images instead of words, like clip art of maybe a book, a math symbol, something like that, the Performance Matters logo, just to make it more visual for your students, but it's all right here instead of having to scroll down and look for the different folders. When I click on one of these buttons, it actually takes me to that folder in that page. Right now it's empty, but you can see it took me to the communication folder. So it takes a little bit of setup, but I'm really excited to show you guys how to make it a little more modern and maybe a fun project. So this is actually a Google Drawing. If you've never used Google Drawings, it's a type of Google Doc. This is the finished Google Doc here. But basically, you can just type into Google Drawing, and it will open you a new Google Drawing. Right now, the background is just checkered. You can do a right click, which is a 2-finger click with your mouse, and you can select a background. For our case today, I just chose a white background, but if you have PNG files, which means any files that have that checkered background, you can just keep it with the checkered background and it will just turn to white when you add it. So anyway, here's my untitled drawing. I actually created these images in Keynote. I have a lot of fonts I like. I just made shapes here in Keynote. When I made my circles, I clicked on style. I used the color picker here to match the color to the image. That's a really cool feature there. And then also, once the shape was selected, I went to range and I changed the size. I made sure it was a perfect circle here. So I sort of did a lot of my setup here in Keynote, and then I just kind of screenshotted with the fonts and the colors that I liked here. You can skip this step, but it's just an option if you are like me and you like using the fonts you have in Keynote. Once I had it there, I was then able to just kind of click and drag into my Google Drawing. It works a lot like Keynote. Then you can select your image, make it bigger, make it smaller, etc. So I added my images here, and once I kind of set it up how I wanted it to look and I had everything the way I wanted it, I was then able to add clickable links. So I had to go to my Schoology course and get those links. So what I did was I did add material and I added the folders that I would be using. Here you can see I have my buttons and they match my folders. This other button goes to a website, so you can click directly to a website, but I recommend still setting up folders like you did in the past. So we can go to add material, add folder, give your folder a title, and once you have it, hit create. Once you have your folders made, you can then click on the folder. So I'll do communication. I'm in my communication folder. I can see it up top here, and I'm just going to copy the URL to this part of my Schoology course. I'll go back to my drawing and I'll click on my communication button, which looks like I didn't bring over. But if I did have it, let's see, it's this dark blue one. Here we go. I can add it. Here's my communication button. I can rearrange these. So definitely you can get creative. Now that my picture is here, I can add my link. So remember, I copied and pasted that link. I'm going to select the button and click on the link icon. From there, I'm going to paste my link and hit apply. Now this is a clickable part of my Google Drawing. You'll go through and copy and paste your links and link them here. If you use Super Kids, you can link directly to the Super Kids website and make a Super Kids button. You can make a Performance Matters button and link directly to the website. You don't need the folder. You can do that. That's what I did here for the ISTE standards. I looked for the ISTE website, and I just copied the website and I also linked it here. So that's another option for you. Once you have it set to how you want to do, you want to definitely give it a title, something like sample. and then that'll be easy for you to find later on. The next thing that you're going to do is you're going to head on over to your course. I kind of made it here in our We Remote Teachers. I don't want to kind of mess that up for us today, so I'm going to go now into my testing course and show you how I did this so you can see how I did it from scratch. Where you're going to do this is in the Update section. So find Updates. I have linked sections. I'm just going to get rid of those so we don't confuse ourselves. But then once I'm in Updates here, at the bottom of my Updates window, I can actually add some cool links. I can add files, and this, Resources. I'm going to click on Resource. And on the left, I'm going to go to Apps, because if you remembered, I did this in Google Drive and Google Drawings, and that's actually one of our resource apps. So we click on Apps here, and then click on Google Drive Resource. Because this was something that I did sort of recently, it'll be kind of toward the top, but if you can't find it, you can always search in Google Drive here. So click on Sample, and you're going to do Import, Import, Embed. Super cool. Now, it starts off kind of small. If you're okay with that, you can hit Post, but I want to show you something advanced. So stay with me, everyone. I know you're going to hang in there and learn something really cool today, something really advanced. What you're going to do is you're going to right click in the window in the box here. How you do a right click is a 2-finger click. When I do my 2-finger click, this little window comes up. You might not have LastPass, but everything else will look the same. Click on Inspect. Here's where it gets a little bit advanced, but I know you guys can do it, so just hang with me. Here you're going to make sure you have elements selected, and you shouldn't have to do really too much with this window. It looks kind of crazy. Your code might look a little bit different just depending on how big of a window you have. Don't give up on me. We can do this. What we're going to look for is the link to our Google Doc. So we're going to look for something that looks like docs.google.com. Did any of you find it yet? I can see it right here. See how it says iframe source? That means where did it come from? The source is my docs.google.com drawings. So just kind of look for the website that looks like docs.google.com. You might have to scroll up and down. Then scroll a little bit lower, and you can play around with this a little bit. You can pause the video and try it out. But for width, I'm going to make it 900. And for height, I'm going to make it 719. Now, like I said, you can play around with these numbers. You won't break anything. Trust me, you can't break the internet. You're not Kim Kardashian. So play around with it. It's totally up to you. And then I just saw this in a YouTube video. I don't really know how to explain it, but where it says frame border, put your mouse next to the 0 and just do -1. Cool. Looks scary, but it wasn't scary at all. You guys got it. We don't even need to do anything with this window. Don't worry, we just did our little edits right there. Obviously, anything we do, we can undo, so don't panic. Now what I'm going to do, I didn't hit save or anything, but I'm going to go back here to where my announcement was. I'm going to click on this icon, make it a bell. The bell is going to make it be at the top of my page forever. And I'm going to hit post. Oops, I must select a section. I remember how in the beginning I messed up my sections. You don't have to worry about that because you're not going to have any sections, but there we go. Perfect. I've got my announcement, and look, it's big. It takes up a lot of space on my page. If I go to my materials section here, and we can just close this with the X icon right here. Don't worry. Like I said, you can't break anything. Just kind of close it out and hit that X. We're back to normal, and we didn't break the internet. So check it out. I've got on my material page here, my students log in, and they see my website outline here. They see I can click on the website. Like I said, maybe you make the Super Kids. Maybe this is your remote learning. Maybe this is a communication area. But this is a much more visual, modern way of making your course look a little cool. This is optional, but I know a lot of you guys want remote learning to be successful and you're really trying to learn some new things and learn some new skills. So I just wanted to teach you how to make Schoology look a little bit more modern. Good luck, everyone!